Florida. We only have one camera. Our microphone broke, but we're hanging in there. We're gonna bring you the common good podcast news. Rob and I right next to each other, not split by cameras. I mean, look, he's right there.
Why didn't you sing the theme song for us?
I don't know how it goes.
Oh,
honestly, could you hum the theme song right now?
I could not.
So we have this theme song. Don't know why, but we do, and I don't know how it goes. Even though I hear, as soon as it starts, I got it.
Yeah, I kind of bopped my head with it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's not really catchy to hum along. Hey, how's the weather outside, Rob?
It's lovely. It is lovely. Much better here in South Florida than in Arkansas or Minneapolis.
Or in Minneapolis. And hearts go out to all the people in Minneapolis suffering under the freezing cold temperatures, 0 and below, and under ice, as it is not only on the streets, but is on our streets. And thank you to all of you who've cared so much about all the pain being caused by the choices of the federal government. And still waiting for the Don't Tread on Me people to rise and to join us in Minneapolis and tell the federal government that hostile takeovers of American states is not something they're going to tolerate by having thugs and armed agents being sent by a maniacal president in our cities and states.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I
was asking about the weather.
All right, so I was telling Rob this story because we're down here. I have the Good Force One of our traveling vehicles of Common Goodness, spending its winter at this RV park, and so there's people around. And one of the first people I met here, I said, I'm from Minneapolis. He goes, oh boy, good thing you're out of there with that governor and all the corruption and all this. And I was like, hey man, like that's all just crazy talk from the president of the United States attacking our governor and all the rest. But it kind of put me on alert. Then people would bring up stuff about, like, where are you from? And I would say, I'm from Minneapolis. They go, oh, it's a good time to be out of there. And I would get irritated and I'd start into this, like, it's just a crazy president attacking our governor and trying to, insult the American people. Then we had a conversation with a person who it became clear later in the conversation that he was not for Trump at all and was opposed to all the things that they're doing. And I started to think back to how our conversation went when I had said I'm from Minneapolis, and he goes, well, it's a good time to be out of there. It dawned on me he was talking about the weather. And that made me think back to all the conversations I had where it became clear people were talking about the weather. They'd be like, oh, it's a good time to be out of there. And I'd be like, yeah, no, that's just the president attacking. Like somehow I am the crazy person that can't think. They're just trying to say it's a good time to be out of the weather. And I'm like, Donald Trump. They must think I'm absolutely nuts.
I think
it really is Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
I really do.
Sure.
I really do suffer under it.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. Well, yeah, and it's just glorious weather here in South Florida. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's just a reminder that life is more than weather. And I live in a place where people talk about the weather a lot and they want to leave, but good life and full life in America is more than weather, and it's more than so many things. Rob, that's the thing, honestly, watching Donald Trump's demise, his derangement, his incompetence, his ineptitude, his inability to communicate. It's like this man has such a narrow notion of what makes America America. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, the stock market, or I mean, it's just like what it means to live a good life in this country and who we are and how we live. I just think honestly is totally foreign to him as a person. Yeah. And I think it's totally foreign to so many of the people who are around him. It's just really quite stunning.
Yeah. And it's so many of us just want to go through a day and not have to think about the president of the United States.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Remember those 4 years where we didn't, and then woke up and realized, oh, he shouldn't run again.
Yeah.
Somebody should have been keeping an eye on the demise of.
Yeah, Doug, you didn't reply to it in the group text, but one of my Facebook memories,
I did.
Was
broke my heart.
Was yesterday.
I know.
Was when we were in Washington D.C. for the inauguration of Joe Biden, and hit a picture of Marine One.
Yeah.
That we saw leave.
Yeah, we did. We saw it flying away, and I remember looking at you with the joy.
Yeah.
And the fullness of heart and the true belief he would never be back.
Yeah.
In like a Freddy Krueger movie.
And I posted this on Facebook. We made it. Well, not all of us, tragically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's never do that again, okay?
Yeah. And
here we are, doing it again.
Once again, our Facebook posts do not cause people's behavior to change.
No.
All right, let's talk about all the ineptitude going on. It's so dangerous. Right now, Trump is meeting with world leaders in Davos, babbling incoherently at times.
Doug, if I were to think that the deep state was a real thing,
yep,
I would think Davos.
Oh, you're saying that when people are like global world order,
yes,
the deep state, all the
globalists,
people...
yeah, all like
okay.
What is he doing there, kowtowing to the globalists in the deep state?
Yeah. Well, all of his supporters used to say that when Democrats would go there, it was them being in cahoots. And when Republicans would go there, or if Trump were to go there, he would be standing up to them.
No.
Because it's always this thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the feeling that the don't tread on me people, that only counts for them and their causes, and then the rest of us need to obey or die, that kind of thing. And when Trump goes, he's truth-telling. When Biden or Obama or even Bush go to Davos or to other world leader meetings, they're consorting for the demise of America.
Yeah.
And look, you think about who's bringing about the demise of America more than a person who has our allies from Mexico, Canada, Germany, the whole European Union, France, being opposed to us and wondering how they build alliances without us. Somehow in Donald Trump and Stephen Miller's mind, that's better for America. Somehow America first is America alone, and American taxpayers will pay more money for everything they buy by additionally paying a 10 or 15 or 20% tax on products purchased from other countries to our government. We pay the tax as consumers, or a distributor pays the tax or something. Somehow that makes America safer, better, bigger, stronger. None of it does.
None of it does.
None of it does. I see this news article right here. Trump steps up demand to annex Greenland, but rules out using force.
What?
Okay, again, how would you use force, Rob? Can you? I wanted to ask you this when this was all coming up last week. I'm like, how do you think? How would the United States of America actually use force to take possession and ownership of Greenland?
Yeah. Greenland has a population of 57,000. Is that right?
Would we just occupy it? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
That like we...
I mean, 57,000 people live on Greenland.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, I live in a city that is twice that size. It's not a lot of people. I don't think it would be difficult to take Greenland by force.
You mean to occupy it? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but here's the thing Trump says and wants. It's so confusing to me. He wants ownership.
Yeah. He wants like the legal document.
Again, countries don't own other land masses. Puerto Rico is not owned by the United States. Puerto Rico is a United States territory. we don't speak about land, whether it's in the continental United States, Hawaii, Alaska, territories, in the term of ownership. Right?
Maybe you do if you're a real estate guy.
But he's not. He's the president. This is... I know people who are longtime listeners of this get tired of this from me, but Donald Trump is the chief executive of the executive branch of the federal government. Mm-hmm. He's not a real estate developer in this role. They didn't invite a real estate... I'm not talking about Donald Trump because he's a real estate developer or a crypto investor or a
reality TV show host.
I'm talking about him because he's the president. Mm-hmm. When he says things, he should say things as the president. And what I'm saying is, we don't own land. Like, ownership is just the wrong phrase and term. But he's obsessed on it, mm-hmm. and somehow believes that we should own it. Anyway, it's just so crazy. It's been so crazy for so long.
And apparently...
And it's so dangerous because European Union nations are going to retaliate against the United States if we try to take possession of that land and try to turn it into some kind of I don't know, there has to be a legal declaration of our relationship to that land. And ownership is not it. It's not a deed. It's
yeah. Well, if we even end up trying to occupy Greenland, we might end up trying to occupy Iceland.
Yes, because he's confused.
Apparently, multiple times during his speech at Davos today, that he got Iceland and Greenland mixed up. I mean, he's like a Viking who's sailing for the New World, gets Greenland and Iceland mixed up. I don't know.
Yeah, or India and the continental United States, like Columbus. But putting this in a larger context, what the Trump administration has done in Venezuela, mm-hmm. to just go to Venezuela and say, we're going to take your leader and charge him with crimes in New York, mm-hmm. and then make claim on your resources.
Yeah. And
that Venezuela apparently has negotiated a deal with the United States to give over oil. I really wonder if you could tell me, how is it different than what Putin is trying to do with Ukraine?
It's not.
Or Saddam Hussein with Kuwait.
Yeah.
Just going in and saying, it's now ours and we're going to take it. You're not a real country. You don't really exist. How is Greenland and Venezuela not different than that? And when Trump is siding with Putin and dissolving our relationships with these other nations, emboldens Putin with Ukraine, China with Taiwan. How does the United States argue that Putin should leave Ukraine and that China should not take over possession again and demand of control of Taiwan when we're doing it to Venezuela and Greenland? I don't know the difference, but to me, it feels like there is no difference. And Trump is now behaving like one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah. Doug, there's a new phrase that has entered the lexicon in the last year or so, maybe a little bit longer. But the phrase rare earth.
Oh.
Rare earth minerals.
Rare earth minerals, yeah. No, I've heard that for,
but just rare earth.
Yeah.
That's what Ukraine's about. In addition to the desire of Putin to kind of reestablish a Soviet Union and take back territory he thinks was taken from them, but Ukraine has this rare earth, and Greenland has rare. What is rare earth?
Rare earth minerals. So
yes, but they just call it rare.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. Oh.
I think what they mean, if I have this right, is that
they're
rare minerals that are in the earth.
Yes.
They're still in the ground.
That will aid in
development of
technology,
chips,
phones.
Is
this an AI thing?
No, well, it's all, and I don't remember the name of all the rare earth minerals, but there's a bunch of them that we need for batteries, we need for solar power. It is the oil of the next 150 years.
Yeah.
And and that's a big part of what's happening in Africa, and in African nations, that they're rich in these elements that are needed for these components that need to be created. But Trump is doing nothing about that. Like, Greenland is not rich in a rare earth element. Venezuela has oil. Yeah. It's like the most common used energy source that he's trying to get. Because again, people are convinced that president's job is to make our gas prices low. I guess maybe not even home heating. All right, let's talk a little bit about Trump's ICE agents in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is the level. Okay, here's the thing about Trump. Every president has a lot on their plate. Mm-hmm. We invest in our country a lot in the position of the executive leadership of the executive branch of the federal government. There really are a lot of things a president has to think about. Donald Trump is inept and dangerous at nearly all of them.
Yes.
Right? The fact that the police chiefs of a number of Minnesota police departments had a press conference yesterday saying, as police chiefs, we work with ICE, we have a long-term relationship with ICE. What these ICE agents are currently doing in Minnesota and in our places is not how ICE behaved a month ago. It has changed. We can't get an answer to it. It needs to stop. If you haven't seen that press conference, you can find it wherever you're watching this, most likely. It's incredible to see buttoned up police captains saying, our off-duty officers are being targeted by ICE, and we have firsthand accounts from them and from thousands of citizens about what they've seen and experienced, and it has to stop. And we can't get an answer from anyone because the ICE system is so convoluted. No one knows who's in charge. One of the officers said this really interesting thing yesterday. He said, when I call Homeland Security or ICE, as the police captain of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, they tell me to go to the website and log in and file a complaint. That's the procedure. They don't know. And he said, the first thing they want to know is, what was the name of the officer who you're complaining about? And he said, they're unnamed and they're masked. We can't, even as a police chief, cannot file a complaint because they have set up a system by which they're unidentifiable. He said that is a problem. And this is what people are now starting to realize. And Kristi Noem and the person who was she was in charge of parks or something, now is in charge of ICE, and I've forgotten her name, are so completely absent in this. And I don't see the press, I don't see Republican or Democratic lawmakers calling out those people to solve these issues. And I'm really shocked at that, frankly. I am shocked that there's not a procedural argument being made about the way ICE is functioning, in addition to the moral argument that's being generated by what so many of us are seeing in first-person account videos. Because
often it's the procedures that provide the guardrails for the morality.
100%.
And when the procedures make it so that the guardrails are missing, people can just do whatever they want.
Yeah,
and we're seeing that.
Because if you say to someone, treat people with human respect and with human dignity, then you have to operationalize that. Like, you can do this, you can't do that.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What one of the captains said yesterday, some line like, this is not the time to have to teach people how to treat people well. They should have known that before they were sworn in.
Yeah.
Like, basically her argument as a police captain and a trainer is, we can't be having to explain basic human dignity and Like that needs to come as a part of the package of who you're recruiting.
Yes.
Going after the quality of the people and the rules they've been given. And we've watched videos of regular citizens talking to ICE and how they talk to people. It's unprofessional. It is rude. It's ineffective. I mean, it basically is Donald Trump's way of being president embodied in ICE agents.
Yeah.
And think about that for a minute. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can't be retrofitted, like retrofit to the situation. It's like you've got to find the people of good character.
Yes.
Then you train for their competence, and then then you oversee them and coach them in the execution of their job, and this appears to be a group of people who. The character's a question mark. The training's a question mark. And we're seeing the results of that in how they're conducting their business.
Yes. And watching the police captains basically say, we have worked so hard in and around this city for the last 5 years to rebuild trust. And he said all of our police precincts have released videos and printed material showing what an officer of this city would be dressed like, and what an ICE officer who's wearing a jacket or shirt that just says police looks like. When the established law enforcement entities are choosing to differentiate themselves from ICE, that's a problem for ICE.
Yeah.
So one of the turning points in this, I think, in Minneapolis, in Minnesota overall, and around the country, is going to be the law enforcement pushback. And watching those police captains and chiefs come out yesterday and say, we are going to speak publicly because we've been trying for weeks to speak privately, and no one is listening to us, and we don't know who to call. Yeah. That is a demise and a loss of control. Of law enforcement.
And I think what it indicates is ICE is trying to position themselves as law enforcement.
Yes.
And they're not exactly law enforcement. And and by wearing police on their shirts, they're trying to blur a line here that needs to be very distinct.
Yes.
And I think what we're seeing from these folks in Minneapolis, these police chiefs and police captains, is like a sense of the thin blue line doesn't extend to you.
Oh, interesting.
You're not us.
Yes.
And there is, police officers historically have this rallying around each other and protect each other, and the thin blue line. And if they're saying, hey, listen, you're not a part of this.
Nice. Yeah.
That's pretty significant.
That's pretty significant. It is so disheartening to watch the collapse of the federal government at these levels.
Yeah. Well, it's for 60 years we've been told that the federal government's the problem. The federal government's incompetent, and now we have like this perfect storm with an incompetent leader of the federal government.
Yeah.
Along with people who are ideologically driven to dismantle the effectiveness of the federal government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who, whether they're competent or not, they are driven by this belief that the federal government's the problem in America.
Wow.
And that combination is has turned out to be devastating for the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can look at, we see it not just with immigration and ICE and how all of this is playing out. We see it with education. We see it with economic policy. We see it with healthcare. like on and on and on. We're seeing in all of these situations where people's lives are like the infrastructure that's there to help support people to let the federal government function has been purposely eroded by both an incompetent executive of the executive branch and agents, actors within that branch of government that are actively trying to undermine it.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to purport that somehow everything the federal government does and policies and implementation is useful and good and works.
No,
of course not.
Of course not.
But it's not designed to be the problem, and it becomes the problem when it is so incredibly mismanaged. And frankly, when the checks and balances of the federal system, Congress and the judiciary are not doing their job. The judiciary right now is carrying all the weight because Congress members are not acting like they are a co-equal branch to the presidency.
Right. Because they're scared of Donald Trump.
Yes.
Currently.
Which
we think that's going to wane at some point. It's got to.
Well, even Democrats have their own way of being afraid. Like they don't want to get it wrong and they don't want to step out and say anything. Like I just don't see, other than a handful of Democrats out creating a clear call for what we should do, how we should do it, and what the pathway forward is. Do you see it? I mean, we have some candidates that we think are running, but
I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
And you're not in this position of elected office yet.
Yeah.
It is quite stunning.
Yeah.
Like all the public voices, I am not seeing them come out with a clear call that any American could say that is the better solution to this that we are experiencing.
Being able to say, here's very specifically what I would do to address immigration, to address ICE. Here, like this, as your congressperson, here's what I would do. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the steps I would take. We're not getting that nationally.
No. Or what we will do right now.
Right.
Not even future planning.
Yeah, it's not
even promise
it's not
making.
saying, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, that Hakeem Jeffries plan, I'm on board with that.
Yep.
I'm not. No, I have to like come up with my own plan.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do.
Yep.
Because there's not that.
Well, you're saying as a candidate, you don't even have an easy turn to say, I'm going to use this one.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like that lack of leadership nationally impacts people who are running for office.
Yes.
Because they can't. There's not a, listen, in 19...
Not even a spectrum of playbook.
It's 1994. Newt Gingrich came up with what was called the Contract with America. Mm-hmm. Essentially it nationalized congressional elections.
He was essentially a contract killer, is what he was, with the Contract for America. But go on.
It's Contract with America, not Contract on America or for America. Be precise with
the
our
contract
language.
with America is what it was called?
Yeah.
I thought it was for. Okay.
I think it's with.
It doesn't matter to me, but.
It certainly wasn't the contract on America.
Okay. Turns out. He's a contract killer.
But what it did is it gave candidates
He was a paid agitator.
You gave candidates around the country a unified message.
Yep.
And it gave everybody like some. Instead of having a million different ideas, it was like, okay, let's rally around this.
Yes. And to put a point on it, Newt Gingrich took control for Republicans
first time
of the House of Representatives.
40 years.
For first time in 40. It was built into the system. Democrats own the House because of the way the House is elected. Most Americans want Democrats, and then the Republicans can fight for the presidency and for the Senate.
Yes.
That is what Democrats need to get back to.
Yeah. There was a sense of the team is all playing with the same playbook. Yes. We're all singing from the same sheet music. Go on with your metaphors.
Yeah.
We just don't have that now at all. There is no organized national opposition to Donald Trump and his administration.
Or even a clear call on a series of issues that I can say, I just want to be able to say, here is a Democrat. I mean, Gavin Newsom a little bit,
but
Pritzker
that's not
a little bit.
No, but they're
these are governors.
Gavin Newsom is not doing it on policy. He's doing it on vibes. It's memes. He is meeting Trump not on the policy level of setting an agenda of differentiation. Yeah, okay. He is meeting Trump's energy, matching Trump's energy of like the absurdistness.
Yeah, okay. His public social media side is that. When you hear him or you hear Pritzker or you hear some of these other people in longer conversations, they are articulating a few things. But to your point, that's not the way to communicate it. Yeah. Make it clear what we want and how it should go. That the fact that doesn't exist is a solvable problem that could address many of these issues, so that people could say what we want is that alternative to this experience. Mm-hmm. So much of politics is giving people a choice. And right now, the choice basically on ICE is don't have any immigration enforcement or have ICE agents ripping American citizens out of their car and moving with impunity, killing American citizens point blank range, and being told that's legal for them to do because he wanted to do it and felt it was important, and he's not under any accountability. Those are the two choices right now. And that's madness, because this is so simple. Get ICE back to the limits that it was under before these surges happened. That is something every Republican and Democrat could agree on. It overstepped, rein it back in, and then let's continue the argument about, do we enforce immigration policy with ICE agents, who, by the way, since 2003 have been behaving in a range of bad ways. The people have been opposed to ICE long before these surges, but this particular surge is COVID-like in that they're now doing a thing in response that is more dangerous than the illness that they are trying to.
I am not an emergency room doctor, nor do I play one on TV. But I have.
Let me clarify.
I have seen many episodes of ER and The Pit. Now new season The Pit. Do you watch The Pit?
I don't know. I've never
heard of it. You got to watch The Pit on HBO.
I'll do it
with Noah Wyle. One of the best medical dramas ever.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow, it's insane elsewhere. Okay.
Yeah. Season 2 has started.
Okay. Can't wait.
Fantastic. The Pit is amazing. And I think it's set at a hospital. Like, remember we did an event at a church in Pittsburgh? It was right across the street from a hospital.
Yeah.
I think that's the hospital that it's set at.
That's set at. Yeah. Cute.
Yeah. So anyways.
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That's why it's called The Pit.
Yeah.
Didn't take me long.
Look at you.
I didn't know it was in Pittsburgh until you said that.
That's what they call.
That was pretty quick.
That's what they call the ER. They call it The Pit.
Oh, not because it's in Pittsburgh. That's just double. It's just double meaning. It's just double cutesy.
Yeah, double cutesy.
They call ERs The Pit. That's a saying.
On this show, they do. I don't know. Vanessa.
But you're not an ER doctor.
No,
so
Vanessa. Vanessa calls the ER at her hospital the ED.
Emergency department.
Yeah.
Not ER.
Yeah, she calls it the ED.
Because it's a department, not a room.
I guess.
Is it that argument?
I don't know. It's just I'm like, oh, she's talking about the ER. I have to always translate in my head.
She might like a follow-up question from you sometime about what she's thinking and what she's doing, how it's going. She might actually really appreciate that. Instead of you just internalizing, figuring out. Okay, therapy session over. Okay, back to it. You're not an ER doctor, but you do watch them on TV.
When someone comes in and is bleeding, there's like immediate triage that needs to happen.
Okay.
There's immediate acute care that needs to be provided. And often there are long-term underlying issues that also need to be addressed.
Okay.
But when somebody's bleeding out,
yes, gotcha.
You're not addressing the long-term issues.
Got it.
You got to address the bleeding out. And I think that's what you're suggesting is ICE needs to be completely reined in immediately to stop the bleeding,
yes.
literal bleeding in Minneapolis and elsewhere. And then we need to talk about
yes.
what's the best way to enforce immigration law.
Yes. And and you know what, when you hear Secretary Noem, who's responsible for Homeland Security, and she is the secretary performing the duties for the president, which is how this works. Donald Trump is in charge of Homeland Security, and he manages it through a secretary of Homeland Security. When you hear her say, well, we wouldn't have had to do this if Joe Biden hadn't let tens of millions of violent criminals into the country, that is not true. And it is still not a response to your agents need to stop doing the wrong things. To say we get to do wrong things because Joe Biden did wrong things, it literally is like talking to a 12-year-old and saying, two wrongs
don't make a right.
No. 4 left turns do, but
yeah.
3 left turns do? 3 left turns do? The fact that their response is still now a full year into the administration, Joe Biden did it, is unacceptable.
It's also
unacceptable.
A complete lack of leadership.
In addition to being a complete lie. Hey, let's finish by you telling that story that you found out about the person that you sent out in the campaign email about the person whose healthcare system or healthcare crisis has sent them into this spiral. This will make you feel great about it.
So I had the opportunity to get in contact with a family that lives in my city because one of our immigration protection groups that is active in Northwest Arkansas shared about this family having a tamale sale.
Okay.
And they're having a tamale sale as a fundraiser for a little girl who needs open heart surgery. And Vanessa had seen the picture of this little girl that was in this tamale sale advertisement and said, oh, she looks just like Ari did at that age, who is our daughter that we adopted. And so there was and long story short, I get connected with the mom of this little girl and I hear this story about how Ilaria she's 3.5, she needs open heart surgery. It'll be her 4th surgery because of multiple rare heart issues that she was born with. They had scheduled the surgery. They planned to get it this spring. Mom and Dad got married in March. I think, second marriage for both of them or him. I don't know. Something. And they had planned it in spring because, the kids are on Medicaid through, in Arkansas, the program's called AR Kids, the Medicaid program. The kids were on AR Kids, and Medicaid was going to be able to cover it. They get married in March, go on living their lives. In September, one of their kids has to have dental surgery, and they find out that their Medicaid coverage has been canceled. The dentist calls them and says, hey, can't do this dental surgery if I don't know how I'm going to get paid. You don't have Medicaid coverage. They do a little investigating. They find out that since they have gotten married, their household income is over the threshold that allows them to qualify for Medicaid coverage by $7. $7. So mom works as a pharmacy tech at a local hospital. Dad works as a service technician at a local car dealership. They have health insurance through mom's work at the hospital. The children's hospital where the surgery has to happen is out of network. Out of network. First of all, $7 over the Medicaid limit. Then the hospital where the surgery is going to happen is out of network.
For the insurance that they do have.
For the insurance that they do have. So, I mean, it's just horrific. They have been able to get some supplemental coverage for a child with complex medical issues. But even that, which will help cover most of the surgery, but even that comes with monthly premiums that are hundreds of dollars more on top of what they're already paying for the insurance they have that doesn't cover this surgery that's needed. And then mom's going to have to take 3 months off of work to help the little girl recover. She's not going to get paid. They're going to lose income. It's just... Yeah.
And this is what makes people so angry about all the reforms that took place 12 years ago on health insurance and Obamacare and all that. Didn't solve these issues. So many of us, like we have private insurance because of how Shelley and I are both employed. It's $13,000 a year.
Yeah,
it's $13,000 a year, and we have a $15,000 deductible.
You're right.
Each.
Yeah,
it can be $24,000.
Yeah,
cumulative.
No,
but it's
they cut you a break.
That's unbelievable, and basically nothing is covered. We pay $13,000 a year to have catastrophic insurance that after, so we don't lose everything if something tragic were to befall us.
This is a family that's doing everything right.
Right.
Everything they're supposed to. They got married. They both work jobs. They've got a side gig, a side hustle with a bakery an online bakery that they run. They've got a network. They've got a community network. They have insurance. They have insurance. They've got family, mom, aunts that are helping with all of this. And they still can't make it.
Yeah.
They still can't make it. And the thing that is horrible about this story is not that it is the uncommon.
Yeah.
It's not the story you would see on Dateline because it's so or 2020
so
because it's like, oh, we've never heard that before.
Yeah.
No, this is happening to families in every community all over the country.
There it is.
And the thought that in the wealthiest country in the world, a 3.5-year-old little girl who needs open heart surgery can just get that surgery.
The parents have to think about it. It shouldn't have to think about it.
Yeah. So if people want to donate, if you want to help out, would love for you to do that. If you want to, the tamale sale, Mom has told me they are at capacity. They can't make any more tamales.
I don't know a lot about business, but you can't make enough money off a tamale sale to pay for an open heart surgery.
No. They have a Venmo and Cash App. It's Bake Me Happy NWA. That's the name of their little
NWA, Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bake Me Happy.
Northwest Airlines.
NWA. Yep. So if you want to help out this family, please do. It's Bake Me Happy NWA, or you can find me on Facebook, and I've shared about it, and have picture, and I was just so touched by Mom, talking with her and hearing her story, and then text. I had sent out an email about this, and I sent her, and I said, hey, we can change names and change details to protect your privacy. And her reply was, would you like some pictures of Ilaria to include in the email? And I said, absolutely. Yeah. So you gotta go check out my Facebook, because the pictures of this. She's just the sweetest little thing, and it shouldn't be this way.
No. I mean, we have children's hospitals. We have children's pediatric centers. We're all set up. I saw some post where someone said, it would be insane if you paid for a Netflix subscription, and then when you went to watch a show, you had to pay for watching that show. And then you got an email from the actor in the show saying, I don't take money from Netflix. You have to pay me separately. And then it said, I'm talking about health insurance.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you put it in terms like that, because we can become used to the idea that you have doctors and you have clinics and then you have...
It's just bizarre.
All of this... None of this should exist.
Yeah.
And universal health care insurance doesn't solve it. We have to have providers providing health care that are paid for by our governments in our states. So in Minnesota, where I had a hip surgery, it was performed at the University of Minnesota Hospital.
Yeah.
The University of Minnesota Hospital, which is operated by the state of Minnesota. My surgeon, when I got the bill for a surgery, which was a $72,000 surgery or something, total bill and then all stuff, he was paid $1,800. The surgeon, the guy that went in and did the thing, I'm like, $70,000. He gets paid $1,800. And then
how long of a surgery?
Yeah, an hour and something for him. How long is he in? I don't know. You worried about if he's making $15 minimum wage?
Yeah, $900 an hour. Is he?
Out of $70,000 surgery, $1,800 for the second most important person in the surgery isn't enough. Is my point. Yeah. You're thinking the guy's making too much per hour.
No.
Unbelievable.
No. Second most important person in the surgery.
Yeah, the anesthesiologist.
Oh, I thought you were the most.
And the anesthesiologist.
The patient was the most.
The anesthesiologist made more than that. But when I said to him, "Hey," in my follow-up visit, I said, "Hey, like that just kind of shocked me. That's how much you make." He goes, "Oh yeah, but that doesn't matter to me. That just all goes to the university. I'm on salary. I don't make any more money." So the way a lot of community hospitals,
he's not working on commission.
He's not working on commission. He's not working by the hour like some of you want. He's paid a salary, and a lot of people at like county hospitals, it's the same way.
Yeah.
That's what we need to have is an entire system where there's not a profit center driven into each element
of every procedure,
everything.
Yeah.
And if you call that socialized medicine, feel free. Yes. But it already exists. It's what exists at VAs.
Yes, doctors should not work on commission.
Yes, and a lot of people in the system shouldn't be working on.
Right.
We get paid more per procedure that we do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
All right. I just
dropped a
3 years. 3 years, people. Just hold on. 3 years from today. 3 years from today.
Wrapping this
I
whole.
know it's a lot.
Wrapping this whole conversation up. Dropped a T-shirt in our campaign merch store yesterday that says, "We don't want Greenland. We want healthcare."
Really good. There's going to be a Vote Common Good T-shirts and mugs and stickers and all that coming out that say "No Secret Police," and the word "police," the last three letters ICE are capitalized. So you get the point. So go get a T-shirt from Rob. Go to the Vote Common Good website. You'll be able to see those things and stay in touch with us. Keep up on all the stuff we're doing as we pitch T-shirts. Save democracy. Buy a T-shirt.